What's up, summoners, and it's the time for a spring update in League of Legends. Riot have already added the Fiddlesticks rework to the PvE, and it is terrifying. And the new Wukong is already monkeying around the Rift. I hope you've already checked out the champion review on our channel. If not, do it right after this video. You'll find the link in the upper right corner or at the end of the video. And today, as every 2 weeks, we'll go through all the lanes from top to support and have a look at the most significant changes, as well as give you a piece of advice on how to adapt to the meta. In this patch, pretty much like in the previous one, we have more buffs than nerfs. Riot keep working on the top lane significance. In this patch, they've changed Teleport and Death's Dance. Besides, they're still enlarging the jungle champion pool and nerfing the strongest champions of the previous patch. And as always, we're gonna start with the top lane. Garen and Darius, who'd been dominating the top lane during the last 2 patches, finally get nerfed. Darius' crippling strike damage decreased, cost increased. E-cost also increased, but now scales down with rank. Now Darius' aggression must be precisely calculated. Mindlessly spamming his abilities, Darius will quickly run out of mana and lose the initiative. Garen's base magic resist growth decreased. E-crit strike ratio decreased as well. This will make him more vulnerable to magic damage and rank Garen more to bruiser builds. But these nerfs are not the reason to ditch these champions. Their win rate will drop by 1 to 1.5%, but in the hands of experienced players, this will be almost imperceptible. Urgot and Wukong are buffed. Urgot is still in good shape, he's a perfect teamfight champion for the bruiser meta. And the new Death's Dance will make him even stronger. The buff should rather make players remember that Urgot exists. Now, we won't talk about Wukong's rework in detail, as we have a separate guide on this guy, so let's just say that Wukong is going to be a very powerful top laner against champions with physical damage due to his armor buff. 2 more important changes in the top lane are Teleport and Death's Dance. Death's Dance damage decreased, but now it grants 30 armor and magic resistance. This item will be a perfect addition to such early items as the Black Cleaver and Titanic Hydra. If you build damage, maybe you should buy something else. Garen, Darius, Urgot, Wukong, Kled, Renekton and others will get the most benefit from this one, while Riven, Fiora, Tryndamere, etc. won't really like this change. Teleport. The teleport change should shift some of its power to the late game. Spell cooldown at early levels increased to 420, Lemao, which means that while tower plates are standing, you can use TP just once. And in the late game, its cooldown is 240 seconds, which is a nice bonus to all the split pushes out there. Besides, now TP grants 3 seconds of 30 to 50% movement speed upon teleport completion based on level. Teleport is no longer a lane sustain tool, so it will probably be used only in the top lane. Now let's talk about junglers. Kayn, Kindred and Hecarim all get buffed. Let's talk about the last 2. Kindred is now in good shape, she has almost 52% win rate. As in the case with Urgot, the buff is aimed at making players pick Lemon Wolf a bit more often. The champion's problem is not the damage output, but the mechanics of passive stacks, which can be difficult to get. But after 10.6, stacking the passive will be easier. We do recommend playing Kindred in this patch. Hecarim's Arthur duration increased by half a second. That's a huge buff, which will surely increase his win rate in solo queue by 0.5 to 1%. By the way, with the new Death's Dance and teleport mechanics, Hecarim might actually come back to the top lane. Shaco's Arclone basic attack damage decreased. This nerf will hardly affect the Jester's win rate. Shaco has mobility and fast jungle clear, so he can invade the opponent with impunity and make one gank after another. Is his clone really the problem? 3rd patch in a row, Riot keep buffing off-meta jungle champions. The previous updates weren't actually successful, but maybe 3rd time's the charm. This time they bring us Brand, Morgana and Zyra. If you remember, Morgana and Zyra were pretty good junglers once. History basically repeats itself. Zyra has the best potential out of these 3. If you main her, make sure to try this champion in the new role. More jungle buffs go to Shen, Teemo and Yorick. Shen can become a good jungler, he has both damage and CC. As for Teemo and Yorick, well, that's quite questionable. Yorick's camp clear will be impressive, but his low gank potential and the inability to use all the laning tools make it look ineffective. Only buffs in the mid lane this time. Anivia. On the PvE, her ultimate cooldown couldn't be cancelled by any kind of CC, but somehow this tweak hasn't made it to the live server. Ice duration increased and that's it. Cute, but insignificant. Twisted Fate gets what he deserves. W blue and red cards AP ratios increased. This will make TF much stronger in the late game. And with the teleport nerf, his map impact will be much higher compared to split pushes. If you used to be a TF main, it's time to become one again. Veigar and Xerath also receive their portion of buffs, which won't raise their win rate whatsoever. Ryze's base mana regeneration growth increased, W damage increased later, as Riot say they just want to manage Ryze's presence in pro play. In solo queue this one will go unnoticed. Next, bot lane. Only one champion here gets nerfed, and that's Aphelios. Aphelios has become hostage to the pro scene. This often happens to champions overloaded with mechanics. His high skill cap lets Aphelios dominate the scene and get nerfed time and time again. While in solo queue, things are going well for him. Aphelios' win rate is below 50%, so if you have less than 200 to 300 games on this champion, it's really not the best time to play him. And last but not least, supports. Here we have 3 changes. First of all, Senna's nerfs. After the marksman position, she moved to the support role, still remaining an ADC. She was often played with such tanks as Tahm Kench, who could provide the front line and let Senna collect mist and bully her opponents. This playstyle allowed Senna to outscale the opposing marksman. Riot nerfed her AD scaling per soul and increased the mist cooldown. This is a serious nerf. We expect her win rate to go down by 1.5 to 2%. Morgana and Soraka get buffed. Riot are putting some power back into Soraka's Star Call, while Morgana gains increased MS and empowered shield early. And that's about it for now, guys. That's quite a lot of changes in this patch. What do you guys think about all the updates? Let us know in the comments below. And of course, as always, if you enjoyed this video, guys, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and good luck in your solo queue.